Hello, guys, and welcome back to the NW Sportscast. Today, I have a very simple question. Will the Seahawks win the NFC West today? I'm going to try to find out. I'm going to go through their record and the rest of their schedule, and I'm going to look at the 49ers, and I'm going to see who has the better shot of winning the NFC West, especially after the Niners just traded for Chase Young, and we got Leonard Williams. First of all, my thoughts on that is, holy hell, a third for Chase Young, and we have a second and a fifth for Leonard Williams. Seems like we kind of got fleeced, or the Niners fleeced the Commanders. Probably a little bit of both, but right now we are technically above the Niners, still have 2 games to go against them. So let's just jump right into it. We play the Ravens this Sunday, November 5th. I have us losing against the Ravens in a close game. The Ravens have played really, really well. It's been hard to stop Lamar Jackson. I don't think this team is going to be able to do it. So we fall to 5-3. Then we go and play the Commanders. We win. We play the Rams for a second time. We win. And now all of a sudden we're 7-3 and we're looking really good. And then we play the 49ers. And that's going to be tough. November 23rd. Ugh. I think it's going to be too hard for the Seahawks to block both Young and Bosa and the rest of that defensive line, who's also super solid. So I'm going to chalk that up to a loss as well. So now we're 7-4. We play the Cowboys, another big game. I think we dropped the ball there as well. The Cowboys have been super, super solid. Their defense is good. Their offense is patchy, but when they're on, they're on. And I don't think the Seahawks will do enough to stop them. We fall to 7-5. We then beat the 49ers in our second matchup. I don't think we're dropping 2. We move to 8-5. Then we lose to the Eagles, 8-6. We beat the Titans. We beat the Steelers. And we beat the Cardinals. And we finish at 11-6. A really respectable 11-6 to finish off the season. But will that be enough to win the NFC West? Let's go and let's look at the 49ers schedule. The 49ers are 5-3 right now, and they play the Jaguars next. Tough game. They've been sliding. I know what Levi would have them. I think Levi has them probably losing this game to the Jaguars, but I don't. I have them coming back and beating the Jaguars. They go to 6-3. Then they play the Buccaneers. That's a win. 7-3. They play the Seahawks. They win there, 8-3. They play the Eagles. I say they get the job done there, 9-3. They lose to the Seahawks, 9-4. They play the Cardinals. They win, 10-4. Then let's say they beat the Ravens, 11-4. They beat the Commanders, 12-4. And I think they rest their starters and they lose to the Rams and they go 12-5. And win the NFC West. And I think Chase Young genuinely might be the difference in that game. I mean, in this season. You look at how they play against the Eagles. That's a really, really tough matchup for them. But will the Eagles be able to stop Chase Young and Nick Bosa? It's going to be really, really hard. You know, you got Fred Warner up the middle there, and then you, as a linebacker, and then you got 2 amazing outside guys, and then also a really good secondary. The 49ers defense is the best in the league right now, even if it doesn't show it. I think they're better than the Browns after getting Young. That's how much I think this will improve. I'm a huge Young supporter, and I think now he's not going to be double-teamed every single time. He is going to absolutely feast as a 49er, and that's going to be the difference against the game even next week. I guess they have a bye, but the week after against the Jaguars. That is huge. That's a huge game. You can't lose 4 straight. You're coming out of the bye. I think that could be the difference. I really do. Etienne might not be able to get as going. Trevor Lawrence won't have as much time in the pocket. I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough to stop both those guys. And look, the Seahawks, do they have a chance to win the NFC West? Yes, but will they? Right now, I would say no. However, if you told me 7 games or 8 games into the season, the Seahawks would be leading the NFC West, I would say you're crazy, especially after week 1, dropping a game to the Los Angeles Rams. I would say no way in heck we are going to get it done and lead the NFC West going into week 9. But that's exactly what's happening. The Seahawks are 5-2, and the Niners have lost 3 straight games. The NFL is very, very unpredictable, and the Seahawks will have a chance to win the NFC West. But what needs to happen for the Seahawks to do that? This is a very clear answer. I'm sure you guys are all thinking at home right now. Geno Smith needs to play better. Geno Smith has looked not great in these last few weeks, and it's been very predictable. In the red zone, he struggles. He throws a few interceptions throughout the game. He has maybe a good opening drive, but other than that, Geno Smith has been very average to below average, and that needs to change in order for the Seahawks to win the NFC West. His numbers simply are not good enough. Geno Smith, look, I'm getting his stats up right now, but especially these last few weeks, he just hasn't been a playoff level quarterback, and the team around him is really carrying him through right now. On the year, he has only 9 touchdowns, completing 67% of his passes with a 60.7 QBR. Are those awful numbers? No, but are they good? Absolutely not. You can't put up a 52.3 QBR versus Cleveland, a 70 QBR against Arizona, a 43 QBR against Cincy, 38 versus the Giants. Unacceptable by Geno Smith. These teams are not that good. The Giants, you put up a 38.6 QBR against the Giants. I mean, that is ridiculous. If you look at his last season stats, they are better in almost every category up until this point in last season. He needs to be better. He simply needs to be better in order for the Seahawks to win the NFC West, and I think that is very, very understandable to say. Something else I think that needs to happen, we need to give Kenneth Walker the ball more. I don't think Geno Smith is going to turn to Patrick Mahomes overnight. I understand that. But we can help Geno Smith by feeding the ball to our elite running back. And I'll say it, I think Kenneth Walker is elite, especially when you pair him with Zach Charbonnet. They are like bread and butter. They work really, really well together, and we don't utilize them enough. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's Shane Waldron or Pete Carroll, but they have to figure this out because Kenneth Walker only getting 9 carries last game. 9? I mean, are you joking me? My correction, 8 carries. 8 carries for 66 yards. He averaged 8 1/3 yards per run. And we only gave him the ball 8 times, especially after being up in the first quarter. It's not like we were chasing the game there. We let the Cleveland Browns get back into the game because we didn't give the ball to Kenneth Walker. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe he was a little dinged up. I'm not quite sure, but 8 carries to an elite running back who is playing well, unacceptable. I don't know what is happening and why we're not running the ball more. We don't have Patrick Mahomes back there. We have Geno Smith. Let's play to our strength. Let's run the ball. Let's have a few play actions. Let's throw it deep to DK, which we, by the way, have barely done all season long. I mean, over the top, we've barely gotten anything going. I think Geno Smith's longest reception this year has been somewhere around 35 yards. It seemed like back in the day, Russell Wilson was doing that every other quarter. I understand it's a different offense, but I don't know how. I really don't know how I feel about never throwing the ball over the top, especially when you got a target like DK Metcalf. That's one of his strong suits. And for him not to get any of those opportunities, it sucks. And part of that is because we're not running the football. Zach Charbonnet, He averaged 10.6 yards to carry. He only had 5 carries last game, 2 the game before that. So, look, there's lots of things to like about this team, but in order to win the NFC West, a few things have to change, and I think a lot of it is on the offensive side of the ball. It looks like we're probably not going to be adding anybody else going into the trade deadline. So this is the team we got, and we have to utilize our players more. We have to utilize our stars. We have to utilize DK Metcalf. We have to utilize Zach Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker, our 3 tight ends. We got to get those guys in the game and not expect Geno Smith to be great, because he's not. He's not prime Russell Wilson. He's not going to dance out of the pocket and throw a ball 50 yards on an unscripted play to Tyler Lockett. He simply will not do that. We have to stop expecting him to do that. Even with Russell Wilson, we handed the ball off 15 to 25 times a game. Last game, K9, only 8 carries. I think it needs to change. It's going to be a battle. It really is. I think we have a great chance at winning this division, but right now, I'm still going to pin it as the 49ers season to lose. This is the NW Sportscast. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. This is Drew Alba. See you all later. And as always, go Seahawks.